Yo, what's up, Sigourney Weaver and Leave It to Beavers? Check this out. It is Shard and Transmutate, and they have come together to create this kind of like dino mode. I believe I've showed this off on the channel before. I don't remember how though. Maybe it was one of those we buy junk car skits or something. I don't know. But I don't think I've done a short or a quick tutorial for this, so it'll be coming up soon. I have done a Transmutate and Shard combiner before, but it was a bot mode and performing extremely well, mind you, on socials. But yeah, this one is the alt mode, like Dino style, because that one was the more anthropomorphic, kind of creepy human form. So I'm going to teach you all how to build this today. Okay. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? I probably should have thought about this. But I think we can remove the front and back hemispheres, kind of like halves, and we can go through it. Oh, before I do all of this, I just wanted to say what's up to everybody out in TV land. If you tune in for these quick tutorials and you watch them to the end, we are like kin, you know, birds of a feather stick together. So yeah, just wanted to say thank you all for tuning in and clicking that thumbnail, and I really do wish your day is going well. And if it is not, I hope it is positioned and angled so that it does become better throughout the day or just throughout the course of time and stuff like that. Yeah. Lots of things going on in my mind right now, but I figure, yeah, maybe I should just kind of like focus on this tutorial, right? But yeah, there's lots of things going on, especially with regard to my social media, like YouTube journey. Man, it's interesting. It's interesting, but the amount of like learning and growth that I get, not just as a builder, but as a human being, is something that I really, really didn't anticipate. Yeah, because I reflect a lot. I think about, I analyze and examine the things that have happened throughout the day, and yeah, it's been a wild ride. Yeah, but people are people. People are people. But anyway, over here is we have the Transmutate Dinosaur skull, right? Paleotrex, same thing. Then we have shards, scales cascaded over the side. I think that's nice. And then we have Transmutate's head levelly kind of plugged in there. It kind of gives the dinosaur a bit of a head crest, and I think that is very cool. This bit over here, I would say this might be the most unique aspect of the build, and I want to show you why. So we have, oh, this looks kind of creepy, dude. But he's just like, hey, I've come to talk to you about your car insurance. He looks like some mosquito or something, right? Anyway, this over here, this is the axe blade. And you can see how the thighs are sandwiched in at the top. It is a bit of a unique configuration, but it works. Then down over here, we have one of the calves and we have the claws plugged in. And why this is so unique is when you kind of put this together, it's supposed to be like it's this claw, but obviously this claw is tiny, 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 you know? But that's kind of like the theme, that it's supposed to kind of come from the same area. It's supposed to angle down from the same area. And that way, when we plug this in, it kind of gives this like fake illusion that it is, you know what I mean? When in actuality, it's plugged in like down over here. And this technique in terms of like I want the arms here, but obviously there is no connection point here, so I have to thread it from like a different area. This I learned from Pre Pisson, one of the premier master builders, fan motors, bot benders, whatever you want to call it. And I learned that trick from them, yeah? And this over here, we have the buckler, and that is supposed to be kind of like, it's supposed to be the soft underbelly, so to speak. Cool, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'll just say it. One of the things that I've encountered as part of this YouTube growth is that like the main emotion or sentiment that I get from people is love and appreciation and like to some degree admiration, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm very humbled, and like somebody who grew up and struggled with like low self-esteem like all my life, finding a niche, something that I'm like I guess kind of like good at through practice, and to have y'all reciprocate and like express your appreciation for what I do, that's been huge for me. That's been huge for me, like transformative almost, you know. And yeah, and while I do get a lot of love, man, as the channel's been growing, it's almost like a percentage. It's almost like the percentage of love versus hate remains the same. But as the number grows, even if that percentage remains the same by volume, the number of negative comments and negative people I encounter is just going to grow, right? And so I definitely see more of that. And so I've had to get stricter and tighter on my word filters, just because I don't like negativity proliferating inside the comments or anything like that. I don't like seeing it, and I don't want you guys to see it. And so I've been tightening up the word filter. And so sometimes, let's say you post something and you don't see it in the comments, the first thing that's probably going to be it's that YouTube for some reason decided to hide your comment. The second one is that it probably got caught by my word filter. And if that's the case, I go through my they call them like held comment, like held for review. I look at those every day, and as long as everything's kosher, like I release everything. But yeah, so I've had to get stricter on that. And other than that type of hate, there's definitely like jealousy towards like what I do. I've heard it in like snide comments here and there. Yeah, and I get it, dude. I get it. Like maybe people want to be doing this, or maybe people want to have fun in their lives, or maybe people are jealous at what I do for like a living. But it's not like somebody handed this to me, dude. Like, dude, I super grinded. Like what you all see now is like this super curated and polished online persona of who I am. Like Botbender Orange is not obviously me. Botbender Orange is the persona and character that runs this channel. But like me as a human being, dude, I got like real life problems like that I don't talk about on this channel because it's not really the place for it, in my opinion. And so people see this like curated, cultivated image and think that, you know, this is me, and it's not. It's not. I have a ton of problems in my life. And in terms of like my accolades, everything that I've gotten, nobody has ever given anything to me. I've had to grind, suffer, toil. Like, dude, I had to work at it. You know what I mean? And maybe one day I'll tell you my story about how all of this happened. And like, it's a pretty crazy story. It's a pretty crazy story in my opinion, but neither here nor there. Let me just continue with this tutorial. You're probably like, bro, I'm not trying to listen to all of that. But and maybe you are. Maybe you are. Over here, we have the shard arm, and I have the thruster plugged in, and that's really just to kind of like beef up this kind of like thigh and calf configuration over here. And this is the arm holding the shard leg with this thruster plugged in here, and I like how that came out. And this ultimately is just going to plug into the side of this leg over here. Same thing goes over here, and you know, the tutorial, I mean, it's not that difficult. We have the shard rotors, basically, one over here, and two up top. And they're almost being held in place by the Transmutate tail, which is cascading down the shard tail. And then from here, we're going to take those two ports and we're going to plug those into those thigh bits. Then you just kind of clean her up and bring her all together. And I say her because both of these individuals involved in this build are female, shard and also Transmutate. And that's pretty much it. We got our dino. But going back to like jealousy and stuff, like, dude, I totally get it too. And the reason why I get it is, dude, I was like that as well. When I would see people having tremendous amount of success and having fun running YouTube channels and stuff like that, I'd be like, oh man, I'd be a little bit salty too. I'd be like, dude, I wish I could do that. Man, I want to do that. But there's jealousy and every other human emotion. You know how people right now, they're just like, oh, you shouldn't shame people. You shouldn't shame people. I'm not one of those people. I'm all about shaming people. And I don't mean shaming them to ridicule them or anything like that. I'm talking about shaming them because I believe that they can be a better version of themselves. It's like, come on, man, I know you're better than that. It's more like that. I don't do it like maliciously, but I am a firm believer that all emotions, shame, jealousy, anger, all these things that we looked at as being negative, no, they evolved for a reason. They evolved for a reason of survival. And jealousy specifically, jealousy without any action, it can be very consuming and can be very negative, meaning like you just may be super salty at a certain individual and you'll always have that amount of salt. But there's a reason why jealousy exists. And that reason is to spur you into action. It's supposed to make you feel salty. It's supposed to make you want that thing and covet what that other person has. And so that you work towards becoming as great as that person, or you work towards putting yourself in that position so that you too can achieve such things. You know, that's why jealousy exists. There is a reason for that. Shame exists because it promotes you to get better. Shame without action, yeah, it's just going to fester. You know, action always has to be involved. There always has to be some type of action. Like even anger. Perhaps back in the day, someone was threatening you or your loved one and stuff. That anger perhaps would have driven you to resolve that threat and anger in, I won't really say what way, but actions, emotions, they all exist for very, very specific reason. And so that's why I understand when people are jealous or hateful towards me, because hey, I am like that too. I am a human being, no different than anyone else. But yeah, next time you feel any type of kind of like these weird, uncomfortable emotions, start asking yourself, why am I feeling this way? You know, is it jealousy? Is it hatred? Like, why am I feeling this? And try to analyze and try to get to the bottom of it, because you may realize that it is encouraging you to take some type of action to improve upon the current situation right now, you know? At least those are my thoughts. You may disagree, and that is 100% fine. We don't have to agree on everything. If we did, that would be kind of weird. But the most important thing is that our discussions as human beings, we remain civil. We don't resort to violence and hate, that we don't resort to like reactive sentiments or actions, that we process things. We use wisdom, we use logic, we use knowledge. And I'm sorry that I don't really have anything, you know, going on over here, but I'm just kind of like talking to y'all. But that we basically use all of those gifts that make us different from the other animals. And we experience these things together from a human perspective. Yeah, there are other smart animals too, but for us, we're humans, and so that's that. That's the coffee talking. I know I'm not supposed to drink coffee right now, but I just had a little bit of espresso this morning. I promise it's the coffee talking, but at the same time, it's also me. If you watch to the end of this video, wow, you are a legend, and I truly do appreciate you. Yeah, that means we probably have some type of connection, and I don't really quite understand what it is because I'm just the one talking to the camera. But if you're still here watching this, yeah, we are birds of a feather, and I appreciate you for it. Hey, and this is kind of like a bird with a feather too, right? I'm out. Take care.